Hi everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm so excited to show you today's card. It wasn't even in my head when I started, but I knew the stamp that I wanted to use and I knew the technique that I wanted to use. So to get it to the end, I switched papers like 3 times, but once it was finished, I switched ribbons a couple of times, but once it was said and done, I love it. So next week on August 3rd, we will start the celebration and our holiday mini catalog. So if you don't have these yet and you're in the US, if you're my customer, you should have had them weeks ago. If you don't have a demonstrator sending you one, I'd be happy to, as long as you're in the US. So just let me know. On the 3rd, the morning of the 3rd, I will post 2 separate videos. One will be a walkthrough of the celebration and one will be a walkthrough of the mini catalog. So be watching for those. I will show you some of my favorite things. I'll show you all of the things that I have made up to that point. There will be a couple of additional videos that are tutorials that we'll post later that day. I'll give you some previews of what I hope that will be in my upcoming classes and retreats. Because of COVID, back orders continue to be an issue. One of the things that I wanted to do for a fall class, we still don't have the paper for, so obviously I'm not going to do it. I just mailed out yesterday the Affirma packs from the expressions and art class that we did in the spring. So I'm putting a little asterisk by all of my retreat choices and everything. If things change, we're just going to have to be flexible and kind of deal with it. But be watching for that. I'll have extra specials if you order from me on the 3rd and 4th. So it's always a real fun time. I love catalog kickoff days. Been doing this for almost 27 years and there's still lots of fun. I do have the Peaceful Cabin online class. So you may have seen this tutorial. It is up. I did a lot of coloring with blends. Blends won't be used in the class. So we're going to use embossing, heat embossing. So if you do the full class where you get all of the supplies, you'll get clear embossing powder, and then we're going to use blending brushes. So it is kind of a Christmassy set, but we're going to do a couple of the cards at least that will be fall and summer. So we'll get you into some Christmas, we'll get you some fall, we'll get you some summer, and we'll take it as an all season. Now again, if we go on catalog kickoff day and it starts to look like anything in this suite is going to go on to low inventory. Right now I have the registration open a little further. I could cut it off. So if you want this class, I suggest that you get into it really quickly. The paper that I'm using on today's card did end up being from this, as are the embellishments. I did have the ribbon too, and then that was one of the ribbons I swapped. But it's a super fun set. I love this set. It's not what I intended to be my first fall class, or my first holiday class, which usually tends to be fall-ish, but that is what it is. The other thing is I am giving away, and I have hesitated to show this because mine's really old. And when I just looked at it, I thought, why do I not have a new set? Maybe I need to buy myself a new set of Stampin' Rights. And the reason I don't, mine is old, and this right here has way retired colors on it. But they work fine. So, you know, and it's not the cheapest thing in the catalog, but it is a giveaway. So everybody that has purchased $75 or more from me in July, so you still have a few more days to get in on the drawing, will be entered to win. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. July is one of our low months in sales. So there's not a huge number of people that will be in this drawing. So if you purchase $75 or more from me in product, it has to be before shipping and handling, because I pull it from how much everybody purchased, and it is accrued. So if you've purchased 50 and you want to purchase 25 more to bump yourself up, I'm going to be giving away a full set. Yours will be brand new. It will have the new colors and not look like this. And I'm going to use these on a couple of cards this week to show you they're a Stampin' Up! Classic. Like I said, I'm coming up on my 27th year doing this, and we have had markers since I started. So sometimes that's why I don't use them, because I feel like I've been there, done that. But they are a must-have, and they're a really great way to get color on your project. So for today, I'm going to do, and this may end up being one of my next classes. I've debated whether or not to put it in fall retreat or whether or not to have it be a class. And I think because it would take 2 spots in a retreat, I think it may be a class. So I did Sweets and Treats. They coordinate together, because Sweets and Treats doesn't come with a bundle with the classic Cloche dies, but it works with the dies. So this little peach pie thing here, I posted over the weekend. So if you missed that, this has window sheet. I'm showing you 3 different ways to use it, and then I'm gonna move on from the Cloches, which is sad to me because I love it. This is the paper that's still on sale this month. So this is the peach paper. So a fun little twist on the summer card. The Sweets and Treats all season set. And then I've already made one card with the classic Cloche. And this is the one that can be bundled with the dies. And I used the little acrylic things. It's not a shaker or anything, but we are gonna make it a shaker today. And then I thought this was a summer card because to me, this looks like the way I decorate my house all year. Like in the summer, I would have this in my house. A lot of people thought it was a Christmas card when I posted it, and obviously it could easily be a Christmas card. So in this one, it was just the dies. I didn't use any of the stamps from the classic Cloche. Today we're gonna use the stamps, and we're gonna use the pop-up things again, but we're gonna make it be a shaker. So let's stamp. And here is the beautiful paper, and this is from the Peaceful Cabin Suite. Isn't that fabulous? And then I flipped it over and I was like, oh, this doesn't match the card. I was just sad that I had to cover it up. So I have basic gray, the Peaceful Cabin, and then this is shimmering white, which ends up getting covered up a lot, but that's okay. Because it's a Christmas card and it's a beautiful card, so use the good stuff. And then I have a little scrap here of shimmer white. So we're gonna use the Stampin' Right markers, and you're gonna see why. Now, when this photopolymer, some people have an issue when you go to use photopolymer and the Stampin' Right markers. What you need to do is just make sure that you've washed these or used them. And I didn't wash mine because I'm lazy, and my stuff was on the other side of the room. So I just stamped with them, and then I scrubbed them real hard on just a piece of scrap paper, and that takes that coating off. So I'm going to stamp with Smoky Slate. This is a 3-step stamp. So on this first one, I'm just gonna stamp all over in the Smoky Slate. This is a beautiful stamp, this one. And I'm gonna kind of do some swirling on it because it's kind of the clouds and the snow. So just swirl it all up. And you'll tell if you didn't get it clean enough because it'll kind of bead on the photopolymer. It can kind of, and then huff on it. It can kind of do that on new red rubber as well. It does it worse though on photopolymer. But the great thing is on the photopolymer, now you can see if you missed anywhere. So we've got that first one. And then we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna do this one. And then this is where the beauty of the stamps come in, of the markers. So I don't think I used all these colors. I think this one pulled over. I have Evergreen, and we're gonna use the brush tips. And I don't know which ones I used before. And this colors in the little houses and the little church. So we color that one and the Evergreen. And let's get this one in the Succulent. And so there's different ways you can buy our Stampin' Right markers. Obviously, I think the best way is to get that giant set. And then that comes with the 4 standard all the time color families that we have. Then you can also buy, we're gonna go to Cheri Cobbler, get the church. You can also buy, sorry, I'm concentrating on coloring. You can buy them by color families, and then you can buy the in colors just on their own every time we have a new in color that comes out. And this is my Real Red, which is, you can tell, an older one. So I'm gonna kind of dab this on here. You cannot buy them individually because they would take up far too much room on our pick line. It's just one of those kind of like warehouse issue things. Now you need to blow on it. And we call that huffing on it. I'm gonna move it. You might not be able to see it exactly. I gotta see this. And then this lines up. If you line the windows up, you'll get it. And now I'll shove it back up here so you can see it maybe. Nope, it's stuck to the table. Hopefully my editing skills will be able to get this in where you can see it, but hopefully you see you line those windows up. And then you have your houses all colored nicely. And I just went with Christmas colors. And then the third step, you're gonna stamp with black. And this is gonna give all the details. And now you can see why you needed those Stampin' Right markers, because to get those in any other way would be really, really difficult. Isn't that adorable? Completely, fantastically adorable. Until you put that other stuff on there, it looks like Iceland. And I thought, oh, this looks like Iceland, but they have no trees. And when I put that last one on there, I was like, oh, there's too many trees. The houses look like Iceland, so now it looks like New England or Southern Indiana. So the first one, I'm gonna use the Cloche. I'm gonna line this up on here. And I'm gonna kind of swivel it so it doesn't go through speed bump. That's super easy. So I've got that. And then there's a little die that cuts out your houses, and the machine's laying on it. And so you just line this up with the churches. That little steeple at the top, really super easy to line that up. Just grab it and then make sure you hold on to it until it goes through so it doesn't move. Okay, now we just have to put it together. So now you see you need the markers so you can do that. So I'm gonna take my Wink of Stella and just add some shimmer to where the snow would be. This little stamp, even not in the Cloche, just stamped on a card would be adorable. I thought about putting it on the trees as well, but it just shows up nicely and I don't want to smear anything because it's super cute like that. So now here's a little trick on how to get your shaker together. You end up with this, which is kind of weird. I'm going to try to figure out a way to use it because now I have two of them. It's not really something you can put on the inside of the card. So you're going to put this up here. Now I'm going to stamp words on it. I left a tiny bit of space down here. I recommend you stamp your words first, because if you do it at the end and you mess up, then your whole card's done and your words are messed up. On this card, I left a little less room down here than I did on my first one because I went with a smaller stamp. I went kind of close to the bottom on that one. Let's see if I can get a little bit better. See what I mean? There's two sides of the card. And if you mess up and you've already got all of your shaker on there, then you have to live with what you did. Yeah, that's better. Now we'll see. I was going to use one of the other sayings that come in this set. Perfect. So now I'm going to take this. I'm going to take a pencil. And I'm going to put it right here. That's going to tell me where I need to mount my little houses. So I'm going to take some dimensionals. Now here's the deal. For those of you that worry that you're going to waste some of your sequins, you are going to waste some of your sequins if you choose to pop this up. I really like the way that it looks popped up, but some of your sequins are just going to get stuck behind here. So you can choose to have it be flat and not quite as cute, or you can choose to waste some of your sequins. But I have a question for some of you. How many of you have some sequins that you've had sitting in your craft room for the last 6 years, sitting in a little container that no one has ever seen in a card or in a shaker because you didn't want to waste them? So go ahead and put some extra dimensionals. But here's the thing. If you just undo this top one, that is plenty. It's not going to get knocked around. It's going to be protected by the shell. And so less sequins will stick, but it's going to be lifted up. So I'm going to just take one back off. I'm going to line it up right here where my little thing is and just press that one on. I'm going to take one of our little new domes. Aren't these fun? I really hope that this lasts for a class. So it may be the next class that I have coming up, so be watching. I am going to start doing my registration a little bit less time than I have been doing. I typically leave them open about 2 weeks, and because I check and stuff's in, which is what happened with my peach class. And then by the time the registration closes, I go back to order this stuff and things have gone on back order. So for the time being, I think my registration will have to just go a little bit faster. So I'm gonna start giving you a heads up that it's coming. And then if I see that stuff is on back order, I'm just gonna say, sorry, that one's gonna hold off. Oh, well, I shouldn't be talking while I'm doing something like this part. Just slide this in here. There we go. And before you push all the way down on it, make sure everything's straight. For this one, you just want to kind of drop that on there. If you're doing the one that I did before, I told you you didn't have to do both sides, but because this is a shaker, you want to make sure you're sealing those sequins in there. So you do want to do both sides of your tape here, the double-sided tape. So we have that one side down. I'm going to go ahead and peel this piece off. There's a couple of different steps to this. And if you saw the other one, I forgot to put part of my little lights in here. I won't forget to put my sequins in. So here are, these are also from the Peaceful Cabin. They're the Subtle Shimmer Sequins. Don't be afraid to use them. You want more than you think, not less. Just put them right up here on top of the cabin. And again, I know that some of you have containers that look just like this, that are a couple of years old because you were afraid to use them up. And so instead of using them up, you haven't used them at all. So use them. They're beautiful. And this is one of these special cards that you would give somebody. Sometimes I give these to people who, you know, you don't really give a gift to, maybe a neighbor who you're like, do I give them a gift? So you don't have to give them a gift. You just give them a really nice card. So you can walk it over. You can leave it on the doorstep. It doesn't have to be mailed. To your grandparents, you know, grandmas love our cards. My grandma used to save my cards. So somebody who's really going to appreciate it, you can mail them. You just put it in a padded envelope, or you put it in an envelope that takes, oops, or put it in an envelope and take some like fun foam that you've gotten in another packaging and just put it around the edges. So now I've put that adhesive on there. And again, just be really careful. This is one of these things, it's hard to video because I really want to put my head right over the top of it. And don't press all the way down until you know it's where you want it to be. It's pretty good. It's a little bit close on that edge, but considering my head wasn't over the top, I'm pretty happy with it. So we've got that. Then instead of going, let me show you the ribbon that goes with the suite that I didn't use. It didn't hold its own, I didn't think, against all the stamping. So this is the Peaceful Cabin ribbon, and it is called white. A white glittered organdy ribbon. So it's very pretty. We do have black that is in the current catalog. I did think about getting that, but this is the Halloween ribbon, and it is the checkered ribbon, and it could practically be on everything. It is the buffalo check of ribbons. And you know, back when we had the buffalo check stamp, there is a buffalo check pattern in this paper, and that almost made it to this card. Then the ribbon would have been a little bit of overkill. So I'm glad I went with the wood. This stamp and dies have a little base that you can put your cloche on. But oh, just look at that. This is what this little card needs. Just that little bit of black to kind of help pull out the black that you can't see right now because it's covered by the sequins that you're not going to hoard. You bought them to use them, not to hoard them. So we use them and put a little bit of adhesive right here. And then this, all of this becomes a little bit more, it's not difficult, but because you've got, see how much fun those are? They're going to all sink down to the bottom. There's my mistake. See, we all make them. It's a little bit harder to put your adhesive back here because you've got that thing on the front. So just pull this over and wrap that around. There we go. The ribbon is one of the things I'm afraid might go on back order. My Try It class closes on the 28th. I think it will make it to the 28th because we've decided we can have a couple of more things. And look how beautiful this is. Now, let me tell you one more fabulous thing about this bundle. It can be free. You can get it for free. You can get several of the bundles out of the holiday catalog for free if you join my team starting August 3rd. And also, when you join my team, you get to take all of my online classes for free. How's that for fabulous? And when you join my team, members of my team get to do my Try It class with the supplies for free. So that's a $75 value, and we do it together via Zoom, or if you're new, you just get to do it. But all of the girls that have been on my team for 25 years, we do it together. Well, we used to do it in person, and then members of my team now are across the United States, and Zoom didn't exist. Well, the internet didn't exist when we started 25 years ago, and everybody lived here. But now we do it via Zoom. So this is one of the easiest, cutest, most fun little shaker cards you could ever hope to do. So be watching for this class. Hopefully, cross our fingers that the stuff stays in stock long enough that I can offer it. Be watching for August 3rd and all of the fun of catalog kickoff. And I hope to see you back here soon. I'm going to be rolling out some new catalog stuff. I do have one video that's coming up that will showcase the designer series papers that are still on sale, and be on my email list. And now I'll have all of the sign up specials about joining my team, about catalog kickoff, all that coming up. So everybody have a great day, and I'll catch you back here later. Bye.